Hello everyone and welcome to Let's Play Milkmaid of the Milky Way. This is going to be a point-and-click adventure game that is not blind. I have already played through this and I'm just going to be sharing this lovely indie point-and-click adventure game with you. So, without further ado, let's begin. Now, you may notice something about this game that I'm not going to point out, and we'll just see if you catch on. This is not Stardew Valley, just in case. Deep in a fjord, a girl and her bovine. Western Norway, 1929. Good, setting the story there. This is a story from Calf Ledge, a small farm perched on a mountain edge. We got some little doobie-doo-doos over there. What is going on in the storm here? Milkmaid of the Milky Way. It's a very evocative title, And I also like the I don't know what you'd call this, filter, the noise filter over the screen. Kind of gives it a sense of fog. Another restless night. Luckily, the storm has passed. The fields were wet, but the sun was rising fast. Enough hours spent in bed, I heard impatient mooing from the shed. Milking and dairy were my priorities. Today, Erland was coming to pick up the cheese. Ah, heck. My milk bucket and tools were gone. So strange. Had a thief wandered through the mountain range? Well, before we do any of the important stuff, let's read our diary. Cheese, mother's recipe. Pour fresh milk in the separator. Separate the skim milk, keep the cream for later. The milk won't curdle by default. Bring it to a boil, add vinegar and salt. Don't let it clot, stir the pot. Butter. The churner must be full of cream, beat it hard, go full steam, churn the butter till it's thick. It should become hard and stick. Remember to keep it cool or else will melt to a pool. Today I repaired the separator and added a feature to the accelerator. When I separate the milk and the cream, it automatically runs down in a stream, ready for butter making, leaves time for bread baking. Remember to grease the door, it's been stuck before. Hinges need oil or grease when they sound like a flock of geese. At school today, a boy brought a bike. He laughed and said, "You'll fall, I swear." Riding it was harder than it looked like, but it felt good to feel the wind in my hair. Last day of school, I'm feeling down. I'm needed at the farm, so I'm leaving town. Edvarsson, my teacher, was sad to see me leave. Whoops, there needs to be an extra E there. You have a knack for science. There's much you can achieve. Dairy farming is hard, especially the cheese. I should write down mother's recipes. Father is out with the pregnant cows. Taking good care of the herd is his thing. Mother is busy inside the house. I'm looking forward to seeing the offspring. A cow died in birth, we mourn. I named the calf Leek when born. I'll take care of you, I said. She's so sweet. She's bottle fed. Dark spots on white, she's sure has a healthy appetite. Mother and father are having a row. He's angry and says she needs rest. She's talking about a strange glow she's seen on the mountain crest. Okay, that's odd. Lately, I've observed that she's been so reserved. Leica is growing. She's now eating grass. Work is hard. I miss going to class. Mother is quiet, so is father. I keep to my chores and try not to bother. I like to experiment. That's just me. I tried to make lemonade from the fruit from the tree. Edvarsson taught about acids and bases. My drink was so sour it shrunk our faces. Mothers didn't come home from the mountain. Father is paralyzed. I'm walking around, crying like a fountain. Somehow not surprised. They gathered the men and arranged a search. The village went out to look. Even the priest came from the church, but no one was found in neither nanny nor crook. Nanny? Is that in either cranny nor crook? Nanny? I don't know, maybe a cultural thing, I'm not sure. They found her scarf on the cliff. When I heard, I went stiff. Mother would never do such a thing. Now father is alone with his wedding ring. Did mom jump? Keep your head up, finish your bowl, father says and scratches his head. Sorrow has taken a chunk of his soul. He spends most of time in bed. We built a cairn, a statue of stone, a memory of the adored. We cried and laughed, us alone, the last two in this fjord. Father told me I had to be strong. He needed my work at the farm. My duties are taking all day long, chores that wear out my arm. A strange past year, a quiet time. No guests are coming to stay. A guilty question, but it's a crime to imagine leaving someday. Is it a crime? For over a month, Father's been sick. His health has seen a decline. His eyes weary, his voice thick. The farm's obligation is mine. Father is better, but not as before. He says he's not much use. Erland is helping sell our produce in the village so we don't go poor. On his weekly trips, he talks of building ships, jobs, and new careers down at the piers. Last week I called for the doctor to come. It took him hours to arrive. Father was ill and totally glum, more dead than alive. Today is the day a year has passed since Father left this earth. Aw, Father died off a year! Damn! I haven't journaled in a while. Today's the day a year has passed since Father left this earth. Things have gone by so fast. Work keeps me busy for what it's worth. I read a book, a fascinating tale, of future and what it can entail. Cannonballs flying to the moon, I read it in one afternoon. Summer is ending, there's a change in the weather. Restlessness and loneliness together. This is my life, I need to stay, even if sometimes I wish I was far away. And the book, handily, wraps. It just goes on in a circle. Got one of them, like, rotatey books. Okay, that's enough book reading. Time to do our chores. I took some firewood, but it was wet. Everything had soaked in the rain, I bet. The wood was wet, soggy, and not dry yet. Like it was patient and astoundingly clever. I raised her as a calf. She'd known me forever. The cows needed milking, I saw from their shutters. They tiptoed impatiently with bulging udders. Please, I don't want to hear about bulging udders. I don't have a milk bucket, which is a problem. Should probably go grab that. Even when I stretched my hand, elbow and knee, I couldn't reach the fruit in the tree. Okay, well, can't get the fruit. That's a problem. Where else can I go? I think I can go down this path? Town was 3 hours hike away. The cow needed herding. I needed to stay. Okay, well, looks like my little cairn. I was good. I didn't need more wood. Can I climb up the roof? Ah, heck. Rocks were scattered. The chimney had crumbled. Damn that storm, I mumbled. Okay, well, shit. Can I get down from the roof now? What else do we got in here? The spinning wheel was for making yarn, but we no longer kept sheep in our barn. We made the cheese in kettles like these. I took the spoon, I would need it soon. A long spoon made of wood, old but still good. The spoon, or as I like to call it, the multi-purpose tool. Has many uses. Up here I had no one to impress, so I wore my pants instead of my dress. The churn was used to beat cream into spread. I made thick, greasy butter, perfect for bread. You cranked the separator, your hand ablaze, to force the cream and milk to part ways. My modification was clever, without any clutter. The cream would trickle down and be churned into butter. It's actually pretty handy. Had I been visited by a vandal? The separator was missing its handle. What should I do? I drew a blank. I couldn't make butter without the crank. Damn it. My parents' portrait. Their wide open stare. They seem to be following me everywhere. Reading books was my greatest passion. Erland would give me my weekly ration. Okay, that's about everything we have for, maybe actually check to see the thingy here. My milk bucket and tools were gone. So strange. Had a thief wandered through this mountain range? Very odd indeed. Man, that's low res, or at least crushed to all hell. Sitting down gave me time to ponder. Was this the life I wanted at the farm yonder? I love the music and the atmosphere in this game. It's just beautiful. I would get this out if I could, but the nail was stuck in the wood. Oop. No, I want to go up the path. Ah, and a milk bucket. How had the bucket ended up here? Had the wind made it disappear? Well, before we go any further, let's actually go up the mountain. For reasons! Reasons that involve solving puzzles later, and just saving time in general. So yeah, there's not gonna be a lot of commentary on this, as you can see, I'm gonna be doing a lot of reading, or at least a lot of reading up front. A metal pole to use as a tether. The boat had sunk in the stormy weather. I'm going to go across here. Nope, I will not walk out there. It would keep me up at nights, the thought of falling, the fear of heights. Yeah, I can understand why you might have a fear of heights if your mom jumped off a cliff. Or supposedly jumped off a cliff. Strange that they never found a body, though, you know? Can you please walk a little bit faster? The flowers I had left here were dry as a bone, after being left out in the wind all alone. With a sudden gust, the dry flowers turned to dust. Well, I am going to do a smart thing, and leave some wood there. The cairn was a place I would go to cry. This time I left the wood to dry. Father and me had built this for Mother. A year later, a memorial for another. Yeah, grief will do that to you, man. I picked up some rocks, squarish, like flat blocks. All right, that's that for now. I can't actually get the wood yet, it needs a chance to dry. The lake was crystal clear and frigid. Swimming here would leave you rigid. Have you picked up on the conceit of this game's writing yet? It can be forced at times, but it does have a certain charm to it. And yes, basically just playing Stardew Valley at this point. I don't know how I feel about this. Like, this is not like your standard, like, adventure game engine, right? Like, it's very much wanting to be an adventure game engine, but it's got this neat blurring effect on it. It can do some fancier graphical stuff that, you know, the standard indie engine doesn't work. Also, wild friggin' rock. Had the rock fallen from the mountainside? It was 2 meters tall and 1 meter wide. Looked like a huge salt stone. Its shape mysterious and unknown. A piece had fallen off the rock. I picked up a decently sized block. A bucket to carry milk and other dairy. These stones were squarish rocks, somewhat similar to building blocks. I came to a halt. It looked and tasted like salt. A long spoon made of wood, old but still good. Out there, the sea. I felt a wave inside of me. Come on. There we are. Can I look at anything else up in here while I'm at it? Looks like there might be something up there, but not much. Anyways, that's basically every screen in the game. Believe it or not, there's not a whole lot else here on our mountain. Did I actually go down to the path here? Did I get this? Town was a 3-hour hike away. The cows needed herding. I needed to stay. Okay. Well, step 1. We got some blocks. Let's see if we can't fix this. The stones I had found were just the right type. I started to mend the broken pipe. Though the results were mixed, I considered the chimney fixed. Fantastic. All right. Good to go. Next to milking of the cows. Oh, no, click and drag, there we are. All right, girls, time to squeeze out some milk for the butter and cheese. Oh yeah, my hands are just sore thinking about it already. I do not miss being out on the farm. After milking, as always, I led the cows up to graze. Always? Okay. Until evening, the cows could do as they pleased, but I need to finish the butter and cheese. Well, while we're here, And thanks to that handy dandy skip up to the pastures, I can probably go and grab that wood now that some time has passed. Can I just click up top there? Yes! Auto advance me, game.